What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with an update of the former Miss Olympia, Brandon Kerry. So looks like Brandon is still traveling and promoting bodybuilding. And of course his own sponsors as well. Now the thing is, he could just sit the rest of the season out and just focus on the Olympia this year. But that just won't be a wise decision. Although the Brandon that we saw at this past Arnold, that was pretty damn impressive. One of his all-time best. A top 4 finish for him at that show. But the fact is, he needs to realize that there was no Hadi Chupan, no Martin, no Nick Fogger in that lineup. And all of these 3 guys are gonna be there on the Olympia stage this year. So that kind of pushes Brandon out of that top 6. And that too at the very least. Now being at the tail end of his career, he should probably follow the same strategy as William Bonac. Of course, if his health allows him. So he should probably do more shows and compete more often and collect those big paychecks before he finally hangs up the posing trunks. Now that being said, it doesn't seem like Brandon is considering retirement anytime soon. But he just cannot ignore the fact that he has been competing at the Olympia level for almost 15 years now. Now that, I have got to say, is one hell of a run. And Brandon has already accomplished greatness in the bodybuilding books. I mean, the man has won every single title. No matter what the people say about the year 2019, the man is always gonna be remembered as the 15th man in the history of this sport to have won that Miss Olympia title. Now some of us were really excited to see him compete at this year's Masters Olympia because he himself hinted about that, and that too more than once. So he looks good for the off-season, but it doesn't seem like he's prepping at the moment. So do let me know what you guys think. Should Brandon pursue all these big shows like this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro? So next up we have the physique update of the reigning Masters Olympia champion Kamal. So this guy is a true phenomenon in the professional bodybuilding, because to be able to hold on to that much muscle mass, that much size even at that age, that is something never seen before. Even a guy like Dexter Jackson, who by the way continued to improve beyond his 40s, but even he dropped down to 8th place at his last Miss Olympia, which was 5 years back, and he retired at the age of 49. But Kamal, on the other hand, the man is 52 years old, and that 2023 Masters Olympia physique, which by the way he won, that was an absolute masterpiece. He was able to slay some very big giants in that process of winning that show, like Max Charles and Phil Clahar, and both these guys were more or less 40 pounds or 50 pounds heavier than him. And Kamal still won that show with perfect scores. So what truly separates Kamal from the rest of the competition is his ability to get totally skinless. He brings such great condition. He gets so damn shredded. And up until a few years back, he had a very good V-taper as well. Now we did see his waistline getting a bit wider, especially at his last show. But if Brandon Kerry decides not to do the Masters Olympia this year, it's going to be Kamal's show to lose. Now we have to keep in mind, this guy was supposed to retire a few years back, but the love of competing and the love for this lifestyle, that is just unmatched. And the man is still trying to improve, even at the age of 53. Now Kamal also won the 2012 Miss Olympia back in 2019, where he beat the favorite, Derek Linsford and Sean Carida, and that was one of his all-time best looks. Guys, we have a limited time offer. If you buy any flavor of Bloodshot, you are gonna get a free Dying Breed t-shirt. The discount code is on the screen right now, and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount.
I know that I want to win the Olympia. I know that, I got 15th, 9th, and, this year I really want to get in the top 6.
Dissecting the recent statement made by Regan about his expectations for this year's Miss Olympia. He wants to be in the top 6. Now, is that realistic? We have Derek, Hadi, Samson, Andrew, Martin, and Nick Walker. Now there is your potential top 6. So which one of these guys does Regan beat to get into that first call out? Now people have been talking about his ultimate potential, but until he fulfills that, until he shows up at his all-time best, the way he wants to, those are nothing but mere claims. And let's not forget, guys like William Bonac, Michael Crizzle, Brandon Kerry, Hunter Labrada, Good Vito, and so many others who are all gonna be there at the Olympia this year. Hunter is probably the only one who might not be there. So the more realistic expectations, in my opinion, that would be repeating high placing from his last Olympia appearance, which was 9th. back in 2023. Unless, of course, they're seeing something that we are yet to see. And maybe Regan is just gonna blow everyone out of the water at this upcoming New York Pro. Now the reason I'm saying all of this, it's not disrespect towards Regan. It's simple logic that there can be only 6 guys at the top in the first call out. And the depth of the competition, that just keeps getting better and better. I guess we won't have to wait that long to see what Regan can do with his current coach Stefan and what they have been working on. And we're gonna see that in just 3 weeks' time. So the expectations this time around, they are really high for Regan, as he's making a comeback after more than 16 months. So this is gonna be his first show of the season, and also his first show with Stefan. Now the fact is, Regan is gonna have to beat a guy like Nick at this upcoming New York Pro. Because even in that ideal case scenario for Nick Walker, where he beats someone like Derek at this year's Pittsburgh Pro, why would he miss that opportunity to win another 25k at the New York Pro? And do not forget, William Bonac has also confirmed that he's gonna be there at this upcoming New York Pro. Now Regan is gonna have to beat someone like Sazan Hirati at this upcoming California Pro. So these first 2 shows, they're gonna be very tough for him, unless he comes out and shocks the entire bodybuilding world with a totally new package, and he comes back with an insane amount of size improvements, and maybe even better conditioning than his last Miss Olympia appearance. So top 6 for Regan Grimes at the Olympia. Is that realistic? Or a bit delusional?
People will say, what do you mean top 6? You want to win. I'm like, I'm realistic.
Yeah, you're realistic.
Right? Like, I'm realistic. I'm not delusional.
No.
So top 6. If I get in the top 6, I will be happy. I'll be really happy.
So this video posted by William Bonac, that is a proof that no amount of hard work, that can be genetics. Some people are just born gifted, and they're born to be great at one sport. And this is Bonac's daughter, having even better abs than him. And both his sons right there, those are some elite genetics right there. And just imagine, if his children also pursue bodybuilding as professionals, how much of a jumpstart will these guys have over others? So in that sense, what Lee Priest has always been preaching, that is right. If you do not have the genetics to be a professional, no amount of gear and the PEDs, that is going to turn you into a good pro. And he was talking about the modern times. Winning the pro card back in the 90s, that was very, very difficult. Now William Bonac himself, he's gonna be remembered as one of the best bodybuilders from 2014 onwards till now. He literally won every single major title other than the Olympia. And William is about to turn 43. And the physique that he brought at this past Detroit Pro, that was one of his all-time best. A true hard worker and a very gifted athlete. So very excited to see how he shows up in less than 2 weeks' time at this year's Pittsburgh Pro. Next up, we have an off-season physique update from Breon. So Breon went through some stem cell treatment at the start of this year. Although we haven't seen any sign of injuries or his physique falling apart in the recent years, but one cannot ignore the fact that he's 45 years old. So the man is trying to get all those anti-aging benefits out of that treatment. So is Breon still determined to make a massive statement after finally transitioning from classic to the 212? Well, absolutely he is. The man is more motivated than ever, and this is him just maintaining this current look and body weight. So very soon, Breon is gonna switch the gears and go for that push that's truly needed in order to put on some muscle, as he has plenty of room to grow and to get bigger, and to put on some muscles, especially on his legs. The fact is, he was just restricting his body from growing when he was competing in classic. So chances are, he's gonna blow up real fast when he ups the food. Now Breon had one of the most successful runs as a classic physique competitor, 2 Miss Olympia titles, 1 Arnold title, and the man has spoken about his expectations in the 212, and the man doesn't shy away from the competition there. The plan is to stand next to Keon Pearson and Sean Carida, meaning at the very least a top 4 finish. Now all that is gonna come down to how much he's able to grow, especially his lower half, because he was getting this feedback over and over again, even as a classic physique competitor, that he needs more legs. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.